Hello friends, I'm Sanyukta and hope you all are doing fine, and today we are going to learn another Zentangle original pattern. The pattern is called Hollis. Yes. When I draw the pattern, I basically think first of Muka. Do you remember the pattern Muka that we learned in our session, an infurl Muka? A simple Muka which does not have pods or heads. Something like this? Yes. When I draw the pattern Hollis, I just feel that this Muka has gone wild and just has opened up itself, and after that it is just moving about in just any direction, right? So that's the feeling I get. So I feel it is very much inspired from this pattern. However, the actual inspiration lies in Chinese pottery that Rick and Maria saw in a museum in China, right? So the pattern has the feel of this Muka, just that these heads have a little more curve, right? And then the second one I'm going to draw like this and then come right back to the beginning, right? And then the third one starting somewhere here, again giving a curve, a little more curve than generally given to Muka, and then joining right here. So this is the basic of the pattern Hollis. It can move about in just any direction. Point worth remembering would be just pick up one of these heads and then it would just go on growing like a creeper, right? So just again I'm using this head kind of shape or pod and then just extending it on and on and on, right? Just remember that when you are coming back, you have to retrace this line or right and go to the beginning, right? Again, extend it in any direction, right leg, like this, right? So that's why I feel that it is just like this Muka which has opened up itself, unfurled Muka, just that it is going crazy and moving in just about any direction, right? So this is the basics of the pattern Hollis. Now what you can do is use these spaces that have created in between for some other tangles or to create a tanglation, or just add a weight there, just the way I have done it, right? Added some weight there. You can add some weight to the inside here, looks nice, right? To the inner part of this curve or the head, the pod, whatever you may call it, right? And then you can also use these stems for tanglations, right? A simple tanglation would be just like adding few moons, right? The possibilities with Hollis is unlimited. You can use these heads for tanglation, you can use these stems, you can use the inner space, right? Just to show you a few examples, this is how I have used the stem. The same crescent moon I can draw it here also, right? Like this. Add a little zen, the same crescent moon on the head, right? I can draw something here, just complete this circle, right? Add some graphite here and just shade it. It will look like a ball inside the pod head, right? So the possibilities are unlimited. You can use these spaces to create whatever. Just add some Bronx chairs here, right? Some Bronx chairs here like this. Looks nice, right? So how do we generally shade it? Shade in the inside of these here, right? Shade from where stems are emanating here, right? Shade the inside. Shade from where stems are emanating, or shade where I have added some rounding. You can also shade that place. You can also shade this area, the tips, right? So the possibilities are unlimited. Go the way you want to. Shading the inside, shading the tip, shading the places from where lines are emanating, right? Something like that. Shading this place. And if you have added something to the stem, then of course it will depend on what pattern you have added to shade that place, right? So the basic of Hollis is these curves, right? A little more than Muka, and then when you go back the line, then you have to come till the end, right? Down below, right? And Hollis can also be drawn with these thick pod heads, something like this, right? You can also draw it in this manner with thick pod heads. Looks nice this way also, right? Just keep on, just keeps going in any direction. So something like this can also be done, right? So let us move on to our tile now. So in front of me is the regular square tile. Placing 4 dots at the corners, adding my border, and then I'll just simply draw my Hollis first, right? So just starting from one end of the tile, coming back all the way, then starting from the head or the curve, and then coming all the way down, auraing it, again adding one more, coming all the way down, auraing the stem again extending this one, coming all the way down here, right? Again extending this one, coming all the way down here, again extending this one, coming all the way down here, again extending this one. Isn't it fun? It's like Muka going crazy, right? Yeah, so you don't just have to think where and how, just go with the flow. Just remember that when you get to the second line, you have to come back down, right? So again, I think 1 or 2 here, the hidden ones, like this, right? Something like this, not showing, hidden ones, right? So that's about Hollis. Now we create a tanglation by adding 1 or 2 more tangles. Now how do we do that? Let's see. I'm going to add a hump here. I'm going to add a hump here. Let's see, a small one here, a similar one here, and probably one more here, like this, right? So what am I going to do with these humps? Let us introduce another tangle here. So let us add perk, right? So I'm starting to draw these dividing lines that we draw in perk, right? Like this. And then add the orbs just the way we add in perk, like this, right? And then add some more, drawing behind, like this. Add some more by drawing behind. Right? Like this. Isn't it amazing? Yeah. So let's move on to the next one. Again the same dividing lines. There's so many ways you can play around with Perk and Hollis, because it provides you those kind of spaces as I showed to you just now, which are the places you can play with. Just adding these small orbs from top to bottom, right? Just take your time, go slow. Small spaces need more concentration, right? So I'll do this exercise and get back, right? So you can see here I have made work on all those humps that I had drawn, right? So now what we are going to do is add a little weight in the inside of these curves. Looks nice, like this, right? Like this. Just a little weight to the inside of these curves, right? And then what I am going to do is, in these small little spaces that are there in between, I am going to add the pattern Cinderella here and there. We have already learned how to draw this pattern, right? So going to use it here. Just a few of them at these points that are created, like here, a few of them, as if trying to find some place there, right? Small ones and big ones again here. So you can see I'm just playing around with patterns and the Hollis, adding some more zen to it, creating tanglations by adding few more patterns along with Hollis, right? Again some rounding here and some Cinderellas. We learned the pattern, just a dot, start with a dot and then keep auraing. First increase the size and then reduce it to a dot again, right? Something like this. Again this place, some Cinderellas, very simple pattern to draw, looks amazing. And again re-emphasizes the importance of auraing, simple line work in Zentangle. Right, again some from here, just finding spaces randomly. can maneuver the shape by moving the second half of Cinderella, right? Something like this. Again, one or two places more, like here. Right, and you can place a few here. Right, so that's about it. I think we'll start shading now. So what I'm going to do is add some graphite on the heads or pods or these curves, whatever you may call it. Right, some from where the lines are emanating, like these places. Like here, like here, like here, right? Then let's smudge it. I'm just blending the graphite that I have put on the heads. If you have missed one or two places, just use the graphite that you have already there. It's already there on your tortillon or the stump. Right, this place. And then a little graphite in the inside here, right, the inside wherever there is space, like this, like this, right, and then just blend it with the light hand. So we never use the tip of the pencil to shade, we always use the edges. You will realize it once you start drawing and practicing, because the tip takes more effort to blend, whereas with the edges when you shade it can blend much easily, right? The tip creates a mark which has to be, really you have to blend well, whereas it is much easier when you put graphite using the edges. The same is with the tortillon, the way you hold it, right, and with the pencil, right. And now some on the inside of these perks. Right, So a small pencil like we have in Zentangle, you can hold it in your palms and you have to actually use the edges only because the pencil is so small, right? So that's the fun. That's the reason why you use a small pencil in Zentangle, so that you can accommodate it in your palm and use the edges. Right? And now a touch on the indirellas, putting some graphite at the bottom, right? Like this, right? So just blend with a gentle hand. You don't want the entire thing to be grey, just a little graphite at the edge. Right? Right, so I think we missed this place. Now this is just, we'll use our white charcoal pencil, right? So this is the white charcoal and I'm going to highlight the portions where I have not added graphite. Right, like this. Like this. Yeah, that's about it. Yeah. And then some on the indirella, the upper part, where we have not added graphite. I'm going to highlight it, right, like this. Like this. Like this. Right? So that's the pattern Hollis. Now it is up to you. What do you want to do with the rest of the area? What we can do is add some bubbles. So I'm going to add 3 orbs and then add some weight in the innermost orb at one side, right? What I've done is drawn one orb, drawn one more, the third one, and then some weight on one side of the last orb, like this, right? It is entirely up to you. You want to do it or just leave the space just like that. Like this, right? Like this. So that's the Tangle pattern Hollis. I'm going to do a small activity here before I close. Since I have these spaces, I'm going to just add some graphite there, right? These small little spaces left here and there. Just blend it. Very light hand. Like this, right? Just a touch of graphite. So that the white portions look a little more merged with the environment. I'm not putting much graphite, just using what is there with me already, right? Just using that, making the background a little more grayish. Like this, right? So I'll now initial my tile. Sign and date it. So take a moment to appreciate your tile, such a beautiful pattern, right? And I've posted few tiles, or I would say Zia, a bookmark and a piece on a larger piece of paper using the pattern Hollis, right? Do have a look, and we'll be posting few more tiles on my Facebook page. So take care. Goodbye.